Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Gallagher along with Jerry Burrow. Again, in sunny Florida with the palm trees, and a hurricane is coming.
Oh,
but
behind us.
I don't feel any wind yet, but just stay tuned. And, I was looking at some of the statistics for preseason hockey in Florida. They were getting nobody at the arena in Miami to see the Panthers. They got a pretty good hockey team down there, and then you come to Minnesota, and you go to any Canadian city, and they're selling out preseason games.
Right.
But I don't know.
So was this the Florida Panthers? You said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tampa's doing pretty good because they've been having a good team.
Well, when I saw the empty seats again, this was during preseason, and I thought, well, nobody's down there yet because all the snowbirds from New York and Minnesota.
They're starting to get out of here now.
There you go.
They'll be there, and they'll start filling up that stadium.
So the Bulldogs, a tie and a loss to Minnesota to start the season, and I think there was some confusion on the Channel 9. Step your game up a little bit on that broadcast, will you?
What did they do?
They just don't do a very good job.
Oh.
That's commercial television. PACT-TV can get away with that stuff, not Channel 9. It was not a big fan of Zach.
Oh.
That's just a personal thing that But the production is.
I heard the Twin Cities couldn't get a feed from that. So they didn't get any hockey down there, so they were mad.
Give them a D.
But then Fox Sports North took the game over last night, correct?
Yeah.
And
that camera work was terrible.
I was at the game, and they said there's 8,000, but I'll tell you, there wasn't 8,000 there. It's like going to UMD Bulldogs women's game when there's 350 there and they say 1,300.
You know what I've noticed?
It's how many tickets they sell, I guess.
There were empty rows.
Yeah. Here's the thing. 10 years ago, you couldn't find a ticket.
Yeah.
You could not find, just like Saturday night.
Yeah.
That was a tough ticket.
Here in Duluth.
Yeah, and they went up to $50 now. That game used to be $16 just 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Then they got a little greedy and they went to $24.
Sure.
It's crazy. Down there was $75, and the season ticket holders have to pay either $200 or $400 extra for that seat for the year too.
Just to get the seat. Then they got to buy the ticket.
But the face value was $75.
Well, they know that people are willing to fork out the money.
Well, that was kind of empty.
They don't care. They're getting their corporate money.
Just all about money now. That's all it is.
Sad.
Yeah.
What happened to the Bulldogs Saturday night? I thought they played fairly well. They got outshot, but then Saturday they outshot Minnesota and got
big time.
Outscored big time.
Yeah, but it was Minnesota. They took advantage of every mistake that happened, and they got a few breaks with the little deflections, and everything went right for them.
Did you expect Minnesota to be a good team this year?
A lot better.
Yeah.
I can see. Here's the difference I see already. They've always been kind of like a little meow, not too tough and that. They were feisty this weekend, I thought.
Okay.
They didn't have that in them. So I think it's going to be a different atmosphere down there at the U. And I think Motzko is going to do a good job there. Mm-hmm. We'll see. Time will tell, but it's early in the season. And
what's a good job? Winning national championships? I think Lucia did very well in that category.
Well, he started out. But some people even say some of those players weren't even his that won the national champs, so who knows? That's 15 years ago,
Yeah.
But the thing is, remember, UMD won down in St. Paul 2011, and then we went back to St. Paul and we won it again 2018. Where the Minnesota Gophers won in Buffalo 2003, and they're going back to Buffalo this year. Just saying.
So the men's hockey team, a tie and a loss to the Gophers over the weekend. They will play at Michigan Tech this weekend?
Yeah. UMD Bulldogs will be out at Tech for
now this is still non-conference.
Right.
Yeah.
And non-conference, I guess the NCAA puts this rule out that it's a 5-minute overtime with 5-on-5.
Yeah.
One overtime. I don't understand why the NCAA has anything to do with it. If both conferences have the same rules for overtime, play that rule.
Well, I don't know why they struggle. They should just adopt the NHL rule.
Yeah, everyone.
Play in overtime and then have a shootout.
Right, whatever.
But
hey, UMD didn't have one of their tough defense men, Dylan Sandberg. He was injured on Saturday night up in Duluth, so he didn't play. And then their top center got a 5-minute bench major for checking from behind, so he got the 5 minutes, and then he was done for the game.
Who was that?
That was Peter Krager.
Okay.
Yeah, the top center for UMD. So they missed those two.
Yeah.
So that didn't help, but they had a lot of opportunities to score. But here's the positive side.
Saturday or Sunday night.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the two Kate brothers.
Kates
From Stillwater. I like them.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do a real good up here at UMD.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Are they twins?
No. They're 2 years difference.
Both freshmen, though.
Yeah. But the young one, I think it's Noah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Noah. The young one was the one on ESPN about 2 years ago when he was a junior at Stillwater, and they're playing Hill Murray in the section finals.
Oh, sure.
And he did that in 360, and then
Yeah.
it was beautiful. And ESPN showed it about 100 times.
Is he drafted?
Yeah, Noah is, yes, to Philadelphia.
All right.
The Flyers. So, yeah. And I think the other one will go pro too. Jackson.
Who's this Jack Rosenbaum, the California kid?
I don't know him really at all.
Yeah. Has he played?
He was out there on Sunday, but he didn't play much.
I know he's played NAHL.
Yeah. But he's out there. I mean, he wasn't dressed on Saturday night.
Okay.
But Sandberg was injured. That's why he was dressed.
Yeah.
So, but they put the other kid, Tanner Lauderette. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Edmonton, a freshman. Okay.
Yeah, I like him too.
How about Billy Exel? Is he?
He had his chances, but he works hard. He's a good north-south skater. But hey, I think this team will be all right. They got to stay healthy, and there's some tough teams in this conference: St. Cloud, North Dakota, Denver, and then the other ones are getting better and better.
Well, you mentioned tough, and I don't see the toughness on this team, on this squad.
Yeah, I mean, Richard's pretty tough. I like the defense. Well, and I like the kid that's out, Sandberg. They're real tough D.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a few.
Well, let's hope that the Bulldogs can regain their composure and have a good weekend at Michigan Tech. And when do they come back home? They'll take on Maine October 19th and 20th at Amsoil. And when do we start this conference play?
Right after that, I think.
Notre Dame, and then Colorado College, November 9th and 10th.
There you go.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Then they go for about 3 months of conference games.
Now the Gophers will play the under-18 team on the 13th.
Out in Ann Arbor there, huh?
Is that? Oh, it is. Sure, it says at, yeah. And then they'll take on Trinity Western, whoever that is, on October 20th. And then they'll take on North Dakota, October 27th. Looks like one game at Las Vegas. What's going on there?
Yeah.
What's
that?
that?
Is that the Hall of Fame game, or what do they call it? Like we had the icebreaker game or something like that.
All right.
Must be something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, they'll be out in Vegas. Does it say what arena it's going to be on?
Nope.
No, it doesn't. Because someone told me it's not going to be at the National Hockey League arena.
Okay.
So they got some other arenas that minor league clubs play in. So,
They still got that minor league team?
I don't think they do. That one that was in the Eastern Hockey League. I don't think they do, but they used to play at the casino New Orleans. And the marina is about 6,500, so it's almost like Amsoil,
Yeah.
And I don't think they have that team no more, so who knows?
There used to be a gal from Duluth that ran and managed that rink.
Really?
Yeah. I had met her, 10 years ago. And, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Darla, I believe was her name.
Okay. Well, talking about the Gophers UMD, the Lady Bulldogs and Gophers played this weekend too. And the first night, the Gophers beat them UMD 5-2, and then
UMD played well though.
yeah, 2-2. And hey, when Rooney's on,
Maddie Rooney, the goalie.
yeah, Bulldogs have a chance in every game.
And they did game 2.
Yeah, and they won in a shootout, so they got an extra point, but it counts as a tie.
Yeah.
But they get an extra point for the shootout. So
I don't know why the college hockey, can't just get this figured out, man. You get an extra point, but it's counted as a tie. All right.
you're gonna try to figure that out.
It's a struggle. The Minnesota Wild, the Minnesota Wild opened up at Colorado, and they scored the first goal in the game 1-0. Zach Parise, and then they went on to lose that game 4-1. And then Saturday against Vegas at home, they score a goal in the first period, and they hang on to that lead till the final minute and a half of the game. Vegas ties it up, and then Eric Halla wins it in the shootout. And boy, I'll tell you, I see this Minnesota Wild team doing a lot of grinding, but I just don't know if there's going to be a lot of production.
Well, they got the same team. Who's the new players? They got rid of Tyler Ennis, Matt Collin, the D right there, Gustav Olofsson.
Okay.
He got traded to Montreal, so they gave him a chance that he has a chance to play up there then. But they picked up J.T. Brown, Matt Hendricks, Eric Furr, and Greg
Patterin. Yeah.
Okay. So we didn't pick up anything that's really going to be a game breaker.
No. There's going to be a lot of grinding, and just.
But here's the thing.
We'll see.
Of all the teams, the Minnesota Wild have more games played by their players than any other team. So that only means one thing. They're old.
I guess I don't know if I follow that statistic, though.
Yeah, but
they've got more games played
in the National Hockey League, total.
By their players.
Yes, than any other team. So that means they'll take let's see, Eric Stahl is 33 years old. He has 1,095 games played in the National. Koivu, 35 years old, 927 games played.
Zach, 34.
But it's over 9,000 for the whole team, and no team is close to that.
Well, they're not going to be in the same league with San Jose, Nashville,
and Colorado's
Toronto,
up and coming now. They got a lot of young kids, and they're developing these kids.
I don't want to turn this into a Minnesota Wild aren't a good hockey team episode, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. If they
they got to stay healthy. Another team that,
and this is a team that can stay close with their opponent, and that's kind of the key.
Well, just like on Saturday night, Devin Dubnyk. I mean, he played a heck of a game.
He did.
And to lose that game at the end, they didn't really lose it, but it's a tie, but they get an extra point.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Well, if I was the head coach, the last person I would have on the shootout would be Mikko Koivu. But that's just me.
Who did they have on there?
Mikko Koivu, Zach Parise.
That's right. Zach hasn't been doing very good on that either.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
Let some young guys out there. Let some guys that don't do it that often.
Their chances of scoring are about 25% on the Wild.
They
don't do good in shootouts.
No, they don't. Or overtime. You're right. And that's a pattern. But, yeah.
But the Wild have Chicago coming into town on October 11th, and then Saturday we got Carolina coming in town. And both games are on Fox Sports North, 7 o'clock on Thursday night, and early game, 5 o'clock on Saturday night. So,
okay.
So Fox Sports North is still the channel to have to watch the Wild.
What's going on? Any youth hockey news?
Yeah, I was up at the Elite League was in town, and the North team I saw this weekend on both mornings. They played Shattuck, and Shattuck's a very good team, and they beat them Sunday. But the North is in first place in the league, and I'm telling you, next week is the USA U17 team is coming into the Twin Cities, and the Elite League's at New Hope, and they're going to be playing the North Saturday morning. So if you're in the Twin Cities, go to the New Hope Arena out in New Hope. And
the New Hope Arena in New Hope.
There you go.
All right.
All right. And you'll see the best under 17-year-olds in the United States.
All right.
And they're a good team, and 2 of the players are coming to UMD, too, on that 17 team. They got this Galatine from White Bear Lake, and they got this Kelly kid, both defense men, and Kelly's from Maple Grove.
Yeah.
So it'd be good fun to watch.
How about the Wilderness? They've got a few games under their belt now.
Yeah, they split this weekend with the Magicians, home and home, and they won 5-1 on Friday night. I was out there. Good crowd.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and then they went down to Richfield in the Twin Cities, and then they lost Saturday night 3-2. And they have a game this Saturday up at the Wilderness. They play Austin, and Lane Crenzen's on that team, and Ian Mayhew from Duluth East.
Oh, yeah.
Crenzen played at Duluth Marshall. And so
is that Louis' kid?
No, that's Scott.
Scotty.
Scott Crenzen's kid.
Okay, sure.
So, but it's hey, it's a great league. It's fun watching. These kids really play hard, and they go up and down that ice. I mean, so you have a chance to get out to a North American Hockey League, get out to Cloquet, or any place in the United States where they have a team. I mean, just get out and watch a game. It's fun hockey.
Yeah.
So that is very good. Hey, next week, you know what I'm going to start doing then? I'm going to start looking, see who all the Minnesota players that made the rosters in the National Hockey League, D1 college, and juniors, because the rosters are getting more set now, because there's a lot of change off in that first few weeks in juniors, especially. In college, we'll see who's dressing and that. So I'll get the players that are playing.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting, how many players we have from Minnesota in all the different leagues. And then I always like to watch how Minnesota kids are doing. That's why we have this show. There you go. So I got a little word talking to people. Brendan Flaherty is getting a little better. He had an infection, but he was down in the cities, and it wasn't good down there, man. But
he's improving?
They moved him up here in Duluth now, and he's at Miller Dwan, but you can't see him. That was as 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
But people say that he's doing a lot better.
Good.
Just talking to certain people that have talked to people in the family and that. So, and some bad news, our own UMD Bulldog, Huffer Christensen, the word's out that his cancer returned, and so our thoughts and prayers are with him right now. It's a tough time right now for him, and he has lung cancer, I heard.
Okay.
And we'll see. Huffer, give it all you can. Huffer, you always did.
Huffer Christensen was like the Kirby Puckett of UMD hockey.
Yeah.
Early on, he was just this beloved
loved him.
player, and he was good. He was clutch.
I'll tell you.
He was the man.
I'm at the UMD game on Saturday night, and there was a sports writer from the Twin Cities I guess he started his career up here in Duluth, Patrick Royce.
Started in Duluth?
I guess so, but he was here in the 60s.
Yeah, okay.
But Patrick,
I didn't know that.
Hockey guru. I think he's seen 2 games a year in his life.
Oh, yeah, right.
So he doesn't know anything about hockey. He's turning around asking me questions about it. I said, Google it. But he knew one thing, that he must have Googled something, that Huffer scored 7 points in the game against the Gophers way back in the...
That was the first game.
Yeah,
at
deck.
The new arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he knew that. He had the article. He printed it off and everything.
Oh, my. How many goals?
I think he had 1 goal and 6 assists in that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they trounced the Gophers.
Yeah.
And that was the first UMD hockey game at the new Duluth Arena.
Yeah. That's funny.
That's great.
But the whole deck was, I mean, the Amsoil Arena was filled with Twin City reporters, and then I guess nothing was going on in the city.
How was the crowd at Amsoil on the
It was full.
Saturday night?
They said 7,300.
Did you have a beer?
Nope, but they had the beer. You know where the old bar is inside there, the lodge or whatever, on where they can come in from the deck, and you hit the lodge right away.
Yeah.
Well, that's where they put the bar on the outside on the concourse.
It's the only bar in the Amsoil Arena. That's where you buy beer?
Yeah, so it got so crowded.
Oh, no.
But they got to figure it out and do better, you know, the traffic and that. But
okay.
I guess beer sales are up now.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
People will be coming to the game so they can drink beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you like spending that kind of money for a glass of beer,
Right.
there you go. What is a glass of beer at the Amsoil? What are they charging? 6, 7?
I didn't even look at
8?
the price. I think you can get one of these microbrewery beers for
sure.
$8.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's a 16 ouncer or something like that.
Huh.
One of the kids said, "Oh, this is cheap than some places when you get that microbrewery."
Kids, we used to buy tap beer for $1.25.
I used to get change back from a quarter.
Oh, those Superior bars, yeah, they'd have some.
Back in the 60s.
Oh, yeah, they had crazy.
Yeah, right.
10-cent taps and
Yeah.
from 6 to 7 or some crazy thing. All right, so Wild hockey, the Wild, I just, I'm a fan. I'll always support my Minnesota teams. I'll always have their back, but I'm not a fan of some of this. Well, I'm not a big fan of Mikael Granlund. Oh gosh, yeah, his assist.
So
oh,
you
my
like
goodness.
that extra 2-year contract they gave him, huh?
No, I don't. I don't like the style. I wish the Wild would draft
you saying
Canadians and Russians.
Are you saying he's washed up?
No, I'm just saying he just doesn't. He's not.
Well, the Gophers have that Finlander.
No, he wouldn't be playing. He wouldn't play for Lower Chester. He might play at Glen Avon
Okay.
or Woodland, but he wouldn't play at Lower Chester.
There you
Trust
go.
me.
He wouldn't make it.
No.
Rip Williams would cut his thumb off.
Rip and the boys up there, the coaches demanded some toughness. Well, I'm being a little silly now, but it is what it is. I'm just not a huge fan of Mikael Granlund. Forgive me, but I'd like to see some excitement out of the guy when he scores a goal. His excitement is chewing on his mouth guard. Okay. That gets him excited. That gets him all pumped up. But, again, watching the Wild, I see a lot of grinding. I see a lot of hard work. I see a lot of effort, but there's just not a lot of results. And, I know there's 30-plus other teams in this league, and there's only 10 top teams, and the other 20 are going through the motions maybe. I don't know, but... boy, I'll tell you, it'd be nice to see this team get I don't want to say superstar, but it's frustrating. I want to see consistency, and I want to see goal scoring. I like to these 1-0 games, and it's annoying at times. You watch a game, it's 1-0 in the first period. You watch the whole game, and then the team, Vegas, scores in the final minute and a half, and it's tough.
Okay, the United States College Hockey Online put out their new D1 men's poll rankings, and last week when the preseason they had Minnesota Duluth number 1.
Number 1, Minnesota.
But they dropped to 3 only.
Okay.
But Minnesota was 13 to start the season.
Really?
And they only went up to 6.
Okay.
A lot of teams haven't played a game yet. So, but
yeah, it's early.
Notre Dame stayed at 2nd. Providence, Michigan lost, so they went down to 9 from 4. But St. Cloud State stayed at 6. They didn't play a game, so just getting going. So it doesn't really mean much right now until we get some games in, and then when the pairwise start. really, when it comes down to it, the pairwise is the only thing that counts. So the top 16 teams at the end of the season go with the conference tournament championships, go to the regions for the Frozen Four. So it'll be interesting this year because there's a lot of good teams. The Big Ten will be a lot better conference too, with Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State. They're all going to be in the top 5, 6 teams.
Just to get back to the Wild briefly here, I wanted to check the time on ice for Ryan Suter. Is he kind of up to his old self again?
I didn't check the time, but yeah. I will on Thursday.
Well,
I will see how much time he does on Thursday. So they give a shift for every player, how many shifts during the period, and what's their average time per shift.
Well, he was always a leader and
right.
Really a league leader in that time on ice. But
and I'll tell you what, high school players, you should watch the pro players. You go out, some of these high school players go out there and they do over a minute out on the ice. That's too long. You got to do 45 seconds or less. I mean,
that's a coaching thing too.
Yeah, but I bring some of these sheets just to show coaches, to show their players, top players in the world, how much time they spend on the ice per shift. It's an eye-opener.
Well, and you've got another factor here too, is that these kids are smaller, so they're working harder to get to the same point on the ice that the pro is, and they're not as strong.
Right.
And so, yeah.
So, I mean, it's very interesting. So, coaches, get your kids to play the game right so they have energy in the third period.
I know we've got a ways to go until we start seeing some high school hockey. Any high school news, though?
Not much going on right now, but practice for high school start November 13th, Monday, and then the first games are Thanksgiving week. But captain's practices start in a week.
Oh, is that new Proctor Arena ready to go?
Oh, I heard they're going to have a grand opening or something up there this week.
Okay, so ice will be in...
oh, yeah, this season they'll have ice.
Good. Well, we're just down to the final moments here. The Minnesota Hockey Connection, you can find us online, minnesotahockeyconnection.com. Find our Facebook page. Like us on Facebook. And we've got a little new background here we're experimenting with. Let us know what you think. But we want to thank the staff at PACT-TV, where this program's produced. And Jer, final thoughts?
Final thoughts, hey, hockey's getting going on every level now. So, hey, get out there and watch some hockey and have fun.
Okay, well, with that, we'll be back here next week to drop the puck. We'll see you then.